Well, blame it on the rain will be the #1 hit in the Sun Sox clubhouse tonight. Today's rains have left the field at Terry Park in terrible shape, so they've postponed tonight's action against the Gold Coast Suns. Last night it was the fog that bogged things down a bit. It rolled in at game time and got worse as the night wore on. Suns manager Earl Weaver thought the umps were the ones in the fog. He was on their case all night long. Believe it or not, though, he lost this argument. Pat Dobson won it. The game was as weird as the weather. The Sox fell behind by 4 early, came back to take the lead, and then saw the Suns tied at 13 before the men in blue suspended play in the 8th inning because of the fog. But the Sox thought it should have been over much earlier.
We had all 3 outfielders raising their arms where they can't see, and the umpires knew it, and they didn't call it until they tied the game up. So nothing you can really do about it, and I don't think we ever should have started that last inning.
Well, they'll finish up the fog game the next time the Suns come to town, January 10th, and no makeup date for tonight's game has been scheduled yet. The Sox head to West Palm Beach for a showdown series with the Southern Division leading Tropics beginning tomorrow night. In a major trade from the major leagues, the Mets shipped unhappy center fielder Juan Samuel to the Dodgers today for outfielder Mike Marshall and pitcher Alejandro Pena. Samuel started last season with the Phillies, was traded to the Mets, and wanted out of New York once the year was over. Marshall hit .260 for L.A. with 11 homers, but he's a question mark because of a bad back. Pena's a good, consistent pitcher who led the National League in ERA in 1984. And you can bet Gator quarterback Kyle Morris is happy to be back in the good graces of the University of Florida. The school announced late this afternoon Morris and backup QB Shane Matthews will have their scholarships restored after the first of the year, and they'll be able to play for Florida next season. Morris and Matthews were suspended in October for wagering on college football games. The Gators still have 1 more game to play, the Freedom Bowl, on the 30th. Those guys won't be able to play in that, but they'll be back next year. That's a good job.
And the Sun Sox, I mean, like...
Oh, I didn't think it could get any weirder than it was last night with all that fog going on out there. But then it rained today. The field at Terry Park is just in tremendous, horrendous shape. Ron Fraser, the University of Miami baseball coach, was supposed to be here. It was going to be Miami Hurricane night. Wouldn't you know it, it rains on Hurricane night. So they're going to reschedule that for some time or whenever they can, and we'll have Ron Fraser back, and all the Hurricane fans out there will be able to go out and see another game.
Terrific. Thanks, Ken.